Remembering Batman's iconic speech when he defeats Superman, I wanted to remind you to stay out of my way in all the years to come in your most private moments. I want you to remember the one man who beat you. Yes, my friends, the impossible happened. Leverkusen suffered its first defeat of the season, and in the final. What a cruel script. Today we're going to talk about Atalanta's crushing victory over Bayer Leverkusen. It was an impressive performance, and much of the success was due to the coach's work and the team's tactical performance. Atalanta managed to win a final 3-0. These players are not used to winning all the time, but they went there and achieved this victory against an invincible opponent. Bayer Leverkusen were unbeaten in 51 games, won a national championship without defeat, and could have won the treble. However, Atalanta made this team look ordinary, which is quite a feat. Atalanta's performance deserves a detailed analysis, as it was a perfect example of tactical execution and psychological preparation. Coach Gianpiero Gasperini managed to put together a strategy that not only neutralized Bayer Leverkusen, but also exploited their weaknesses with precision. From the opening whistle, Atalanta demonstrated an intensity and commitment rarely seen, especially in such a crucial final. In the first half, Atalanta imposed an overwhelming pace, putting pressure on Bayer Leverkusen in all sectors of the field. Even with less possession of the ball, the Italian team was lethal in its attacks. Atalanta's players were always one step ahead, anticipating the opponent's moves and winning almost every tackle. This aggressive and determined stance was fundamental in destabilizing Bayer Leverkusen, who seemed to find no answers to the incessant pressure. The first goal of the match came from a well-worked move on the right, with a perfect cross for Ademola Lookman, who anticipated the opponent's defense and finished with precision. This early goal boosted Atalanta's confidence and put even more pressure on Bayer Leverkusen. The second goal, the result of a quick ball recovery after a mistake by the opponent, showed the attention and preparation of the Italian team to capitalize on any opportunity. In the second half, even with the advantage on the scoreboard, Atalanta did not completely retreat. Although they adopted a slightly more defensive posture to protect the lead, the team continued to explore quick and efficient counterattacks. It was on one of these counterattacks that Lookman scored his second goal, sealing the victory and capping a memorable performance. Atalanta's performance also highlighted the individual talent of its players. Lookman, with his 3 goals, was the highlight, but the collective work was equally important. Midfielder Ederson, for example, had a superb performance, controlling the pace of the game and being fundamental in both defense and attack. The defense, led by vigorous and attentive players, neutralized the attempts of Bayer Leverkusen, who were unable to create clear chances. This title is a historic milestone for Atalanta and proof of Gasperini's excellent work. Under his command, the Bergamo club has stood out on the European scene, even with limited resources. The playing philosophy implemented by Gasperini, based on high pressing, intensity, and strong collective play, has been key to the team's recent successes. The victory over a team like Bayer Leverkusen, who had an extraordinary season, unbeaten in 51 games, further reinforces Atalanta's merit. Making such a dominant opponent look ordinary is a testament to the Italian team's high level of preparation and execution. With this achievement, it also sends a clear message to the world of football. With planning, dedication, and a strong game identity, it is possible to achieve great things, even against theoretically superior opponents. The next season promises even more challenges and, without a doubt, Atalanta will be ready to continue surprising and competing at the highest level. Let's talk a little about the game itself and the tactical part. I'm going to share some images that show Atalanta's superiority, especially in the first half. The first image shows Bayer Leverkusen's action zones during the season, indicating that normally 34% of the time the ball is in the opponent's field. In the first half of the game against Atalanta, this dynamic changed completely. 37% of the time the ball was in Bayer Leverkusen's field. Atalanta didn't even have that much possession of the ball, but they pressed intensely, preventing the opponent from playing on their field. In the first half, Bayer Leverkusen had 66% possession of the ball, but were unable to be effective because Atalanta's pressure was suffocating. Gasperini's team was courageous and well-planned, managing to prevent Bayer Leverkusen from playing. Leverkusen tried to create a square in midfield, but that didn't work, as Atalanta was attentive and physical, winning tackles and rebounds. From the start of the game, it was clear that Atalanta had a specific strategy to neutralize Bayer Leverkusen's strong point: their ability to control possession and dictate the pace of the game. Bayer Leverkusen's 66% possession of the ball in the first half did not translate into dominance because Atalanta pressed tirelessly, not allowing the opponent to advance dangerously. Coach Gianpiero Gasperini prepared his team to press high, forcing mistakes and winning the ball in dangerous areas. This courageous and aggressive approach was evident in every movement of the Atalanta players, who closed spaces quickly and gave Bayer Leverkusen no time to think and execute their moves. The high pressure imposed by Atalanta was an example of tactical organization and collective effort. Bayer Leverkusen's plan to form a square in midfield with players like Granit Xhaka, Ezequiel Palacios, Florian Wirtz, and Jeremy Frimpong, aiming to create numerical superiority and build plays from that zone, was effectively nullified. Atalanta anticipated this strategy and responded with rigorous individual marking and impressive physical intensity. Atalanta's players won practically every tackle and were always alert to intercept passes and gain rebounds. Atalanta's success in neutralizing Leverkusen's square was a testament to their tactical preparation and each player's clear understanding of their role in the marking system. Atalanta's defenders and midfielders performed their duties with precision, continually disrupting Bayer Leverkusen's attempts to progress with the ball. This frustrated the opposition and prevented them from creating clear scoring opportunities. In addition to the pressure and intensity, Atalanta showed an excellent sense of positioning and timing. Whenever Bayer Leverkusen tried to advance, they found a well-organized defense line ready to disarm and initiate quick counterattacks. This combination of efficient marking and quick transitions was lethal for Bayer Leverkusen, who found themselves unable to respond. Atalanta's physical approach was also crucial. The players were not only well-positioned, but also showed superior physical strength, winning tackles and aerial duels. This physical superiority allowed Atalanta to control the game even without possession of the ball, imposing itself over Bayer Leverkusen and dictating where and how the match would be played. Atalanta's second goal came from an individual play, and the first goal was a cross in which Lookman managed to anticipate and score. In the second half, Bayer Leverkusen tried to change the configuration with the introduction of Boniface, but Atalanta were already in a comfortable position and knew how to control the game. Atalanta's victory is a triumph of Gasperini's work, who managed to make an average team compete at a high level. He convinced the players and improved their performance. Atalanta's style of play, marked by high pressure and intensity, demands a lot from the players, who need to be physically fit and committed. The victory is a crowning achievement for Gasperini's work, who had already shown his worth in other competitions. Atalanta may not have the same constant success due to the frequent loss of players, but their playing philosophy and ability to renew have kept the team competitive. Gasperini has built a team that knows what it wants and how to achieve its goals. Regarding the European places, Atalanta is currently in 5th place in Serie A. If it continues in this position, Italy will have a 6th representative in the Champions League, as Atalanta would qualify by winning the Europa League. If Atalanta finishes in the top 4, the extra place goes to Benfica due to the coefficient. Congratulations to Atalanta on the victory and the well-deserved title. They managed to make undefeated Bayer Leverkusen look like an ordinary team, which is a great credit. Let's see Atalanta in the next Champions League and see how far they can go.